All right, guys, welcome back. Hope y'all had a great Christmas. We're going to be starting with Unit 6 today. So here's some central questions. Pythagorean theorem. This should be mostly review, at least this first lesson. So we're going to roll through here. Some key vocabulary. Make sure you read those, write them down. Most of that stuff is all review. Introduction, find the distance between 2 points using the Pythagorean theorem, and then eventually we're going to work towards the distance formula and figure out where that came from and how you can use that. But like I said, for today, it's mostly review. Again, there's some key concepts. Pause it, read those if you want. And a couple more key things. And here we go. So, use Pythagorean theorem to calculate the distance between the points 2, 5 and -4, -3. So, we're talking about this line right here. Okay? The easiest way is to use the Pythagorean theorem. And if you remember about the Pythagorean theorem, it is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, the way I really like to do it is this. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. It's always important to remember that the hypotenuse has to be on the side by itself. All right, so we draw our right triangle. We're going to, okay, because that makes that 90-degree angle. Makes a 90 right here, which means that this is the hypotenuse. Okay, you also could have done it here, right? It technically works either way. Okay, it does not make a bit of difference which side you do the right triangle on. All right, so we look at our height here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. All right, so what we have is 8 squared plus 6 squared equals hypotenuse squared. And so that's going to be 64 plus 36 equals hypotenuse squared. So that's 100. And then to undo a perfect square, or square, you take the square root of both sides. And so that would be 10. Now, I will remind you that, of course, we talked about, you know, if you take square root of something, it's positive and negative, but we're talking about the length of the line here, so that negative answer doesn't make any sense, right? If you get plus or minus 10, it really doesn't make any sense in this case. So we're going to not worry about that, okay? We're only going to focus on the positive. All right, next example. Tyler, and this is like the step up from this. Same concept, but it's just applying some words and context. Tyler and Arsha have mapped out locations for a game of manhunt. Tyler's position is represented by the point -2, 1. Arsha's position is represented by the point -7, 9. Each unit is equivalent to 100 feet. That is going to be an important line right there. So make sure you're paying attention. What is the approximate distance? So first off, we've got to figure out the distance based on what we have. So again, we're talking about this line. And so if I very quickly sketch out my right triangle, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So then, from there, what we want to do is we want to multiply this out. So that's 8 squared plus 5 squared equals my hypotenuse squared. So I'm just going to use h this time. Okay? And so the next thing we're going to do is get 64 plus 25 equals h squared. And then 64, that would be 89 equals h squared. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to actually calculate that, obviously. So we need to do the square root of that. Now, if you're using your calculators, when you do the square root of 89, that's what you get. And it won't tell you unless you hit that little button to change to a decimal, which turns out to be 9.43 is your height. Okay. And now remember though, this is in all this information here is in hundreds of feet. Each unit is equivalent to 100 feet. So this is actually 943 approximately feet. Okay, it is approximately 943 feet. All right. All right, Kevin is standing 2 miles due north of school. James is standing 4 miles due west of school. What's the distance between them? So, very quickly, north, west, east, south. If I'm here in the middle, it doesn't tell me where I'm at. It just gives me a point, a random point. All right, so I might as well use the origin. Kevin is standing 2 miles due north, so 1, 2. So that is Kevin. And then James is due west, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's J. All right. So we're talking about 4 squared plus 2 squared equals h squared. Because this is my h. How far apart are they? All right. So that's 16 plus 4, which is h squared. So we're talking about the square root of 20. Okay. Square root of 20 doesn't mean anything, right? Unless we simplify it. So we end up with 2 square root 5, which still doesn't really mean anything. So that is approximately 4.5 miles. Make sure you give your context and your units, if there is units to be given. Okay? And we'll stop there. That's it. So, with that, if you have questions, I'll be walking around helping people out today.